What's up, guys? This is Zach's a Million again, as it's shown in my YouTube channel that this is my name. Um, Obviously, in case none of you know me, I'm a huge Dallas fan. I've been a Cowboys fan since 2005. I've liked them since I was a little kid. People have asked why, and I just said, I don't know. I just took a team off the standings. I just picked a random team when I was little. I didn't know any better, but whatever. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Cowboys are the shit, okay? Because I'll say this much. Philadelphia, yeah, I kind of feel bad that, your corners and your defense let you down this month. And then to add on top of it, Mark Sanchez made everything worse. But, I'm not going to sit here and also say, talk shit about Eagles fans and all that, because we all know Eagles fans are by far the most dishonest and most unloyal fans you will probably ever meet in your lifetime, because every time they lose, it seems like, there's no excuse and their coach is a god and all this. It's like, whatever. But, you realize the Dallas Cowboys, and mainly the fans, have gone through so much since the last time they won a division title. You realize in 2009, a lot of people thought maybe we had a chance, and then when Minnesota blew us out in that game, we had to rebuild. We simply had to rebuild. There was no way of getting around it. And then 2010, it didn't get any better. Tony Romo broke his collarbone and was done for the year. We had to rely on veteran John Kitna. And, the season still went 6-10, but, it sucked because, Romo's a warrior. Romo is by far the most competitive quarterback despite even being injured. Like, I've seen this guy break essentially almost every bone in his body. He's had bruises madder than hell. He's got a punctured lung, a broken collarbone, and shoot, this guy's even almost broke his back not once but twice for his team. And as I said earlier in the video, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the world, because they're clearly not. We know they're not. But, until the moment they raise the Super Bowl trophy, then they will be the best team. But, no, I'm not. So you Eagles fans know, and you as a team, Philadelphia, I am not going to sit here and scold your team for choking in the month of December, because Dallas has been very famous for choking in the month of December alone. Trust me, we went through 3 straight seasons. We lost to the Giants in 2011, lost to RG3 and the Redskins, and then we lost to Nick Foles and the Eagles last year. So, but no, I'm not that type of Dallas fan that isn't going to shove it in your face kind of fan. I'm just going to, say this is a good win for us. And, we're not going to let this one carry on next week. It's nice to let it soak in and enjoy the victory and enjoy the division. But, I think the Cowboys still have a lot of work to do, because they could still get the number 1 seed if everything falls according to plan. Now, I know there's 5 teams right now that have 11-4 records, such as, obviously, my Cowboys are 11-4. Seattle destroyed Arizona last night, so Seattle and Arizona are both tied at 11-4, with the Seahawks owning the tiebreaker. And Detroit and Green Bay are both 11-4. So I think if everything was to fall according to plan, I think we would have to need Green Bay to win, and then we definitely need Seattle to lose, but they're at home against the St. Louis Rams, and I just don't think they will anyway. I don't know. But you know what? So you Eagles fans know, Dallas fans like me have gone through so much turmoil in the last, I'd say 4 or 5 years, ever since the last time we won the division title in 2009. Like I mentioned, back in 2010, Romo broke his collarbone, was done for the season. And then we had those 3 straight 8-8 seasons. We lost in the last game of the season on every single year for those 3 straight years. And then this year they draft rookie guard Zach Martin, and it surprised everybody. Everybody would have thought the Cowboys would have signed Johnny Manziel, but I'm glad Dallas didn't draft Johnny Manziel, because a lot of people right now think Johnny Manziel's just a bust, and he's just all about partying and getting laid with the ladies and all that nonsense, but I don't know. But and trust me, fans, not just Philly or Dallas fans. I'm talking football fans around the world. I am not the only Dallas fan that is happy that their team finally did something in the last 5 years. But let me say this much. I will point out this stat. Mark Sanchez was 0-3 in the month of December. And I highly doubt they'll start him next week because their season's over anyway, so whatever. But Mark Sanchez was 0-3 in the month of December. He was like 64 of like 96. He had 722 yards, which wasn't bad. He had 4 touchdowns, but he also had 4 interceptions. Tony Romo, on the other hand, Tony Romo was 61 of 78. He threw for 688 yards. He threw for 10 touchdown passes and no interceptions in the month of December. They're 3-0. And as a result, that ended up clinching the NFC East for the Dallas Cowboys. And unfortunately for Philadelphia, it left them to nothing. And of course, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I don't know if you either gave up on your team after you guys lost to Dallas, like thinking, it was all but over. I mean, there is possibility. It's just you can't do it with Mark Sanchez. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean to, point out any flaws of your team, but you just can't do it with Mark Sanchez, because Mark Sanchez just has to make an error. But and as I mentioned before in the video earlier, I'm not the only Dallas fan that's enjoying this win, because it's just been so long and we've been going through so much torture with how we're forever going to be an 8-8 team, and how we're never going to go to the playoffs and all this nonsense. And, I don't know. But I just tried to ignore them. But the one thing I did take exception to was when Eagles fans were talking shit when they kicked our ass, And, I mean, they rightfully did. They rightfully so believed they could talk shit because, yeah, I can't lie. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to tell you that the Dallas Cowboys just simply got their ass kicked in that game, and they simply got outplayed in every statistical category there could potentially be that you can name off. Passing yards, rushing yards, turnovers forced. Dallas simply didn't show up in that game. But in this game against the Eagles a couple weeks ago, when we showed up, I mean, it was a great feeling. Now, of course, there's a lot of turmoil going right now in Philadelphia based on Bradley Fletcher. Now, I can understand you guys could be upset at Bradley Fletcher because Bradley Fletcher got completely roached the last 2 games. Not like he had been roached all year, which he had, but mainly in these 2 games, he got absolutely tortured. He got tortured by Dallas's Dez Bryant for 3 touchdowns and 100 yards, and then he got burned by Deshaun Jackson for two 50-yard pass plays that came back to haunt Bradley Fletcher. And I don't know about Kerry Williams for you guys. I don't know why you guys are scolding Kerry Williams so bad. I mean, the only thing I see Kerry Williams doing wrong is his over-aggressiveness causes the referees to throw a flag. And yeah, I can't lie. If a referee kept calling a flag on a corner all the time, I would probably be pissed. I can't lie. But again, congratulations to the Cowboys for winning the NFC East last night in their demolition of the Indianapolis Colts. And that's another thing I want to get down to. You Eagles fans can't sit there and act like it's Indianapolis' fault that they didn't try. No, because let me say this much. You know whose fault it is? It's your fault, Philadelphia. It's your fault that you didn't try to win as hard as you believed you can. Now, trust me, Philadelphia is a good football team. I think they're a good football team, and this is from a Dallas fan's standpoint. I think Philly's a good football team. I just think they're not good enough, obviously, to make it this year. But it's not Indianapolis' fault. It's not their fault that you didn't win the games you should have won this year. And let me say this much, Philly. You as a team should not have to depend on other teams to win to benefit you, because that's not fair to the Colts. In this case, it's not fair to Indianapolis that, Philadelphia was rooting for you and you completely laid an egg last night in AT&T Stadium. Now, no, I'll say this much. You guys got to realize the Eagles, I feel like, are going to be good for the future. I really do. I think the NFC East is going to be a very tough division to clinch. Like, it's going to be like what it's been the past 4 years, where it's going to take to the final month of the season to decide who the winner is going to be. As I mentioned, 2011, the Giants won it. 2012, the Redskins won. 2013, the Eagles won it, which was obviously last year. And then this year, Dallas. So we don't know what the cycle is going to be. It's a very unpredictable. It's an unpredictable division because one team can completely have so much success while another team just can completely fluke and have a high draft pick. Now, of course, Washington Redskins fans, from the bottom of my heart as a Dallas fan, I fucking thank you. I thank you so much for putting out your effort. I obviously thank you, everybody who plays the sport of football, because it's a battle on the field. But, Redskins fans, you have a right to talk shit despite being a 4-11 team. Alright? Because you beat us. You beat us a month ago. About 2 months ago, you beat us in our house. On primetime on Monday night with Colt McCoy. You beat us. And I was like, wow, I'm actually really surprised. I mean, I didn't see that coming out of the Redskins. And of course, back then the Redskins had to hope that they had to essentially win that game or their season was over. But not like it was going to end any better for them anyway. But Deshaun Jackson, you may be a shit-talking, trash-talking dickhead, but you burned your team. And you rightfully believe to do so. Because just because Chip Kelly didn't like you in his, not theirs, his system, meant you got the shit end of the stick. Now, let me say this. Philadelphia, you could have got rid of somebody else. You could have got rid of Brent Selleck. You could have got rid of Riley Cooper. And obviously, Jeremy Maclin, obviously, I feel like should be the bounce-back player of the year because he came off a gruesome torn ACL he suffered in preseason a year ago. And Maclin's been very good for Philadelphia. I will give the Eagles that much credit that, Maclin's been as clutch and been as good of a receiver as he's been for them this year. But, I don't think this is what Philadelphia expected. I don't think Philly expected to be going into one weekend having a lot of confidence knowing they were facing the Redskins and then find out, oh shit, we lost. And now we have to hope that Philly somehow gets in because obviously they would have to win their last game and hope Dallas loses out. Or they lose one game. But, that's unfortunately, that's how the NFL works. That other teams don't have to necessarily play for your benefit. Okay? Because Indianapolis already clinched. And is it Indianapolis' fault that Philadelphia choked this month? No. But unfortunately, that's how some NFL teams are. They just depend on other teams to help them along the way. And I think Eagles fans are really hurt that, their team let them down another year. But, back to Bradley Fletcher. I can understand you Eagles fans getting frustrated at Billy Davis, the defensive coordinator, I believe, for the Eagles. I don't know. But I don't know who their DC is. I think it's their DC, but I'm not sure. But I can understand your frustration with Billy Davis on why he didn't bench Bradley Fletcher any sooner. Because he waited all the way to the fourth quarter of the second to last game of the season to bench Bradley Fletcher. And that's pretty disappointing because Bradley Fletcher hadn't been getting toasted all year until this month. Till this month, he hadn't been getting roasted at all. It started with a mixture of Doug Baldwin and I think some other receiver. I think it's Paul Richardson of the Seahawks when back on December 7th. And then Des Bryant on December 14th. That was a Sunday night primetime game against the Cowboys. He got roasted again. And then on Saturday, where it was, I think, a holiday specialty, Thursday night holiday special where it was played on Saturday, he got roasted by Deshaun Jackson, a former teammate. But I can see the Eagles' frustration with Billy Davis. I can see potentially Rex Ryan being their defensive coordinator, or maybe even Rob Ryan. I don't know if Rob Ryan will last in New Orleans. But I think the Eagles need to get rid of Bradley Fletcher, Kerry Williams, and they need to draft corners because they need defense. And I'm not going to lie, from a Cowboys point of view, Connor Barwin, you've been doing pretty damn good, and I feel like you deserve a Pro Bowl nomination. I voted you for the Pro Bowl. And, you're the NFC's leading sack leader, and I think that deserves high honors. And it's unfortunate that, Connor Barwin is now the leader of that team after, D'Amico Ryan suffered a torn Achilles. But as I said before, I'm just glad my Cowboys won. But I think this one really hurt for Philadelphia because I think Philadelphia is thirstier for a Super Bowl ring than any other team in football. But as I mentioned before, it's a good win. And HTTR, we'll see you next week, and we'll see who goes from there. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video. Hit the like button and the subscribe, and I will get down to your comments as soon as I can. And I thank you for your time today. Have a good day, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.